Kevin, thank you. Gentlemen, this guy always credits the guys around him.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. Dwight Howard had no problems getting going. He ended up with 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guy. An exceptional performance from Dwight Howard.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he's taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
On the floor for Seattle, they've got Winslow. Money out there with Rose. Then it's Pau Gasol. And it's Bargnani in at the 5. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
And chalk up a few more points for him there. This has been a one-sided game in just about every area.
Absolutely. I echo that sentiment. Their offense, their defense. I mean, it's all been terrific.
Took him no time at all on that one. Rose has got his first points of the game.
This is not a tough case to crack. I mean, if they want to put an end to this run, they'll need to start getting back on defense.
You know, you can't fall asleep in transition. Everybody needs to hightail it back to stop these fast break chances.
Mark, when you take a look at John Henson, you see one thing, length.
Yeah, a lot of it, too. I mean, he measures 6'9" with a 7'5" wingspan at the 2012 NBA Combine. His standing reach is actually 3.5 inches greater than that of Anthony Davis. Wow.
Wow, it's right. And taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
Yeah, defensively, some really good pressure being applied, though, so you've got to give credit there. It seems like they've been rattled a little bit.
Great, you think they've been rattled?
They have, Kevin, but that's something that they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
Dallas shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And collectively, they're only about 73% as a unit right now.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
A nice shot by Winslow.
This is a nice third-quarter surge here. They've got it going right now.
And a perfect time to get hot, just as we get into the meat of the second half here.
Here's Bargnani, finished off the break. Bargnani's got 5 points now this quarter.
Scoring well here at the midway point, and now they're starting to put some distance between them.
Well, offensively, they just continue to roll. I mean, they're padding that lead bit by bit as a result.
And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Rose. Rose has got 4 assists now tonight.
Boy, they are feasting right now off of all of these turnovers.
D to O. It's been a major catalyst for him, defense to offense.
Now, here's Barea. 5 points in the game, knocked away. From outside the arc, and again, Seattle with the triple.
Wow, just look at that lead. Both ends, they have been the team in control.
Yeah, and they put the fans simply on mute. They've not had anything to cheer about, and they've been silent. Tell you what, the points they've allowed off turnovers are really hurting them.
And if you're not giving your defense enough time to react when you give the ball up like that, you don't have a chance.
Out to Lee. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. That's 7 points for money.
That's now 7 straight for them coming from fast breaks.
Yeah, and they're making it look easy, guys, running it down the opponent's throat.
Offensive rebound. Bargnani dishes to Gasol. Here's Winslow. Buries the long-range jumper. Winslow's got 17.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
The kick out to Williams. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. Well, every team goes into the draft looking for finishers like these. Here are the most efficient scorers among this year's rookie class. You look at Winslow, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks. And, of course, money.
Well, I think it's safe to say these two have made the adjustment to the brand of defense being played in the NBA. Their shooting percentages are just fantastic.
You know, for the season so far, their efficiency really off the charts, guys. I mean, great shot selection, excellent composure as well. I mean, you really can't tell that these guys are rookies.
And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for Seattle?
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
And here is Williams. After Justice Winslow getting his shot to go from deep. And a wide open look for Lee. And another three for Seattle.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace.
Now here's Williams. He has 5. Will it go? Here's Henson off the left rim and out.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
Here's Barea after the basket by Seattle. Dishes it to Henson. Rose with the double team. Powell kicks to Williams. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And you know, one thing about Darren Williams, he used to get to the charity stripe at will. At the height of his career, he was averaging almost 6 free throws. He's been down around 3.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. JaVale McGee comes in for John Henson. And it's Anderson in for J.J. Barea. And Clark, for Darren Williams, it clearly has the handle and the strength to get to the basket, but no longer the explosion that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, you know, he's had some ankle injuries, and that certainly is a part of that. And he's also in his 30s now, so largely a perimeter jump shooter, but still can impact the game with his deep shooting and playmaking.
Here's McGee. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Over the last month, let's see how the Mavericks fared in the NBA rankings. 4th in opponent points per game. 5th in fewest turnovers per game. And they show up also in the top 5 in opponent shooting percentage. That's because they've really made a commitment at the defensive end.
And you go back to their ranking in opponents' points per game. Teams just can't seem to put runs together against them. You get a bucket here, a bucket there, but that defense, it just wears on you.
And the first one at the line is good. And for JaVale McGee, what was once such a promising career is now, Clark, I think, kind of at a crossroads.
Yeah, you know what? He is capable of being a major rim protector and rebounder, but I think teams are getting a little bit impatient with him because he's just not mature to the point that you would have expected.
And for McGee, it looked like he had taken a positive step last year when it was announced he would sign with Boston. The front office even came out and sang his praises. Then negotiations fell apart and McGee didn't play again for the rest of the season. Another in a long line of disappointments over his career.
Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Darren Williams.
You know, regarding McGee, he spent most of his career eyeing the money. He forced his way out of Washington partly because of it. Didn't sign with the Celtics because he wanted to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. He has to show that he can still play if he wants somebody to really pay.
Now here's Lee. 10 points for him. A nice shot by Gasol.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
The grind of the NBA season wears on, but what a pleasure this year is turning out to be. Let's check out the West and see how the standings look. Taking a look at Oklahoma City. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And, of course, Dallas, 9.5 games behind.
You know, right now, Dallas, they're in the mix for a playoff spot, which is definitely a positive, but I'm sure they'd like to have had their hands around that spot a little tighter than they do.
For sure. I mean, it's certainly not a sure thing at this point. They've got work to do yet.
No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Fast breaks yield easy buckets, guys. They've made the most of their chances in that regard. The defense not able to get set, You get a running start to the rim, you should get a good number of scoring chances that way.
And so it's Dallas with it. Seattle able to drain the three. And McGee kicks to Pachulia. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And taking a look at some of the stats here for Lee. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run, averaging 40 points, 13 assists, and almost 4.5 steals. And you know, pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis.
Rose gets the bucket.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the three-point line.
Yeah, and the defense knows it. I mean, they are fully stretched out trying to stop the three-point shot and still haven't been able to do it.
Bargnani passes to Winslow. Rose dishes to Gasol. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. Now, here's Felton. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. A wide open look for Gasol, and another basket for Seattle.
Yeah, again, just a lackluster transition defense.
And 7 of the last 10 points, Greg, they've surrendered, have come off the fast break, so real easy to see what the problem is.
Shots good from Bargnani.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
And Felton is up top. He's covered by Rose. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And for Raymond Felton, last year was nothing short of a disaster. Missed the first 31 games with an ankle injury sustained in preseason. And he played for a poor team. And things, you know, Greg, being the leader, the ball handler like you were, they just never got much better for Felton as the season went on.
Yeah, the problem when you have that issue early on, the season isn't going to wait for it. Right. You know, you're basically in catch-up mode, and so because of that, he never got into any kind of a rhythm when he was available to play. And that's not surprising, given that he averaged less than 10 minutes a game for the season after averaging 33 a game for his entire career.
And he gets it to go. Here's Felton. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Parsons outside. And Bargnani sends it back. And they'll keep possession. And he gets it back. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. The Mavericks have really been struggling with their free throws, only made 5. More misses than makes so far. And he knocks down the first one.
And Chandler Parsons, boy, he can really give you a whole lot of everything. Length, quickness, skills, can shoot, pass, rebound, defend, the total package.
And back to Chandler Parsons. His versatility is so valuable to any scheme. We've now seen that in both Houston and Dallas. He gives you percentages and good production every time out.
He does, Kevin, but the one area where I'd like to see him improve is his physical strength. I mean, to take his game to the next level, he's got to be able to play through contact a little bit better. If he can do that, we're talking about a guy who could be a perennial all-star. Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
And here is Felton following the three-pointer by Derrick Rose. And pushing it up, here's Seattle. There's Lee with the 3. It's good for the 7th time this game. He shot 7. He has made 7.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
Anderson outside. They get a hand on it. Oh, and here we go with Lee. Nobody back. Drops in the breakaway layup. Lee's got 21 in the game.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
And, Greg, defensively, you got to have better floor balance and commitment to hustling back. I mean, you got to sprint back. You can't jog back.
Fires the 3. Rose, that's good. He's got 19.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough.
Gasol on the high post. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. 21 points for Pau Gasol.
A splendid pass. That time by Rose.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything.
I know, right?
Here's Felton. They've got John Jenkins. Anderson is out there with Powell. Then there's Felton. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Here's Bogdanovich. Here's Rose. Lee outside. From past the arc. 9 for 9. Looking deadly accurate. Like guys he cannot miss.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
Here's Lee. Kicks it to Bargnani. Back to Lee. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. And that one's good.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
And now in transition is Lee. Here we go. Got that bucket in no time at all. Bogdanovich has got 4 points in the quarter.
Fueling their offense by forcing turnovers. That's what's taking place right now, guys.
Yeah, extra possessions really invaluable, and they've converted those possessions into points.
Here's Felton, and again, unable to change momentum here.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Now here's Lee to the left side wing. Bogdanovich, good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got 4 assists now tonight.
Well, and this run really triggered by their transition offense.
And you can see the momentum swinging now. They've gotten a huge boost of energy, and now the offense starting to click. And a nice 1-2 punch there, guys. Great defensive play and great basket in transition.
Aggressive play, attacking basketball, on the attack, full throttle. I love it. Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Shot's good by Lee.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams in their effectiveness from the three-point line.
It has been pronounced, no doubt about it. Definitely a big factor to this point in the game.
And pushing it up, here's Seattle. Gasol kicks to Lee. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got 3 rebounds now in this one. To the paint, here's Mejri. And it's Seattle with the rebound.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
And that one's good.
What a final quarter these guys are having from downtown, just burying the threes in bunches.
And they might as well keep going back to the well. No reason not to. I mean, work that perimeter. It's going good for you. Work it until it stops.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take them long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
A nice shot by Bogdanovich.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
We've seen a lot of silly plays like that out of them today. Just way too many.
And it's Seattle with the ball. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Picked by Bargnani. From the arc, good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Rose against Felton. And another basket for Seattle.
And he's showing signs now of life after going scoreless through the half.
A solo fast break. Here's Bogdanovich. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
Such a height mismatch on the perimeter, and they give up the triple.
Well, it was the Dallas Mavericks winning their last game against the 76ers. The dish to Powell. No good off the back of the rim.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Lee gets the bucket.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
The Mavericks have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Oh, and here we go with Lee. Nobody back. 35 in the game.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
And pushing it up. Here's Seattle. Lee's running.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And now in transition is Lee. Here we go.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been humming quietly but very efficiently.
And so it's Dallas with it after the basket by Seattle. Felton attacking out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
JaVale McGee's checked in for the Mavericks. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
All you have to do is point to their turnovers this quarter. There's a reason the scoreboard looks like it does.
That's been the culprit, the turnovers. I mean, TOs, those kinds of mistakes have really kind of drained their confidence to this point.
Last game for Seattle, they picked up the W against Houston. They set the pick. Felton attacking out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Dallas making a switch here. Parsons is checked in. 13 feet away. And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Lee. 23 points for Pau Gasol. Dallas has gone 2 for 2. From three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Pass to McGee. Shot to stop the drought. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive, Greg. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
That free throw missing. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Pau Gasol. And he's good on the second. And it's Seattle with the ball. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. It's out of bounds. They are saying it was last touch by Lee.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Dallas has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Pass to Ibaka. The fadeaway. And again, Seattle with the triple.
The shooting percentage continues to elevate here in the second half.
Well, as a group, they've been harmonic since the break. In sync. Good team basketball resulting in high-quality shots. You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
Rose kicks to Bogdanovich. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Boy, and another miscue leads to points. Squeeze the orange, fellas. Take care of the pumpkin.
Hard to recover defensively, though, when you're turning the ball over at this rate.
Now here's Felton. Stolen by Rose. Lee kicks to Bogdanovich. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. Ibaka, no luck.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
It's tipped. And now in transition is Lee. Here we go. Rose passes to Ibaka. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. 10 points for Serge Ibaka.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
Lee outside. That's good. Lee's got 45 points.
It's just hard to believe that someone can perform at such a high level. They've got to thank him for this lead.
And here we go again. Seattle on the break. Ibaka right side. Looks for Bargnani. Gets it to him. That's good.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until the defense puts up a little more resistance, they ought to continue to pound them down low.
And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. Both free throws good from McGee. Lee with the ball. He's picked up by Jenkins. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
You know, that's hard to explain that play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
Stolen by Rose. There's Lee with the three. And another three for Seattle. 1:46 left in the game. Felton against Rose. Parsons outside. Lets it go from 14. And he hits the jump shot.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
And it's Lee penetrating. And another basket for Seattle.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Seattle.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin. I think the shot selection was good, too.
And so taking a look at their season record, this will be win number 31 on the year.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief two-gamer.
I tell you what, Greg, no matter how brief it is, anytime you can get a season series sweep, you're happy.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Goran Dragic. There isn't much else you want from someone. He gave it his all and was rewarded with a triple-double.
Poke loose. Ibaka goes in. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
He is on fire from behind the arc.
Yeah, it seems like all of his points are coming from deep, Greg.
Seattle calls timeout. Guys, your thoughts?
I'm not sure why you call a timeout this late. I mean, the game is more or less over.
I think they might just be taking a few extra seconds to enjoy the win. Is that plausible?
Or maybe just rubbing it in? That's possible.
Justin Anderson, Dwight Powell.
from deep, Rose. So no problem for Seattle as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Dwayne, you had a huge impact on the boards tonight. Was that something you tried to do?
Yeah, Coach told me to rebound. I've been trying to rebound lately, so just trying to get out.
Dwayne, thank you. Kevin, over to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. Now time to head with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. So why don't we take a look now at our Jordan player of the game? It was lights out shooting at its best from him in this game. 60-plus points is rarefied territory that few players ever see in the NBA. But we saw it here tonight. Truly jaw-dropping.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage.
Wow. He was literally unstoppable tonight, Ernie. Those defenders that were trying to guard him are going to have nightmares tonight. He put on a clinic on how to break down the defense. With that kind of performance, it's going to be hard to repeat it.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.